Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your whole life. It feels like there's something more to this reality than what we've been told. You don't know exactly what it is, but it's there like a distant memory that you're trying to remember. Because when you look at your life, you ask yourself, is this it? Is this all life is? Is this all I can become? And deep down, you already know the answer. And you're right, there is more. Something way bigger than what we've been told. And in this video, I'll disclose a secret spiritual practice that is more transformative than meditation, breathwork, and psychedelics combined. But unfortunately, it's been kept from us deliberately. Here's what I know. There are those who benefit from us being afraid, distracted, and disconnected from who we really are. Because when we are confused, afraid, and just trying to get through the day, we never stop to ask the real questions. Who am I? Why am I here? And what is this place really? The Matrix hit so many people so deeply because it was the first movie that made us think, what if this reality isn't what we think it is? And the answer to that question, the real answer, is something they never made a movie about, but it is within your reach, not through religious beliefs, but through an experience. An experience of who you are beyond the body, beyond your name and your job title. The soul that chose to incarnate here, and the reasons why your life has unfolded the way it has. And then there's the deeper pull that many of us feel, not just to find answers, but to grow, to expand beyond who we are right now, to access level of consciousness that most people don't even know exists, to become the most evolved version of ourselves, not through religious dogma, but through experiencing what you really are beyond this physical body. We call it soul, consciousness, basically your spiritual essence. And then there are the people you've lost. When someone we love dies, most of us are left with the feeling that the connection is gone. But consciousness doesn't end when the body dies. The people you lost, they still exist. People have connected with parents, partners, and friends who have passed away and had closure that they never got here in the physical. And beyond them, there are others. There are beings in other dimensions who are always there for you, who've known you for lifetimes, guiding you behind the scenes. You know those synchronicities where everything just lined up in a perfect way, too good to be a coincidence, where the right person showed up at the right time, or where you just kept seeing the same number sequences like 1111. That's them trying to reach you. They've been trying to reach you your whole life. They have specific messages for you about why you're here and about the path you chose before you incarnated in this body. There is a direct path to your guides, your mission, and the answers that you've carried your whole life. It doesn't require belief. It doesn't require anyone's permission. And that's precisely why it's been suppressed. And what I'm about to show you is that path. It's called astral projection, also known as out-of-body experiences. Your consciousness, the awareness behind your eyes right now, separates from your physical body and enters realities beyond this physical dimension. You go there fully aware, fully in control. You can fly, teleport, go through walls, and travel anywhere within time and space. And when you're there, the experiences can be more vivid and real than anything you ever felt in a physical body. In one of my out-of-body experiences, I observed a boy's face, and his eyes had these white irises. In physical reality, our irises are black because it's like a hole where there's no light reaching in there. But here, there was light coming from within him. I looked around and everything was radiating light from inside out. Every person, every tree, and every plant was glowing. Many of these dimensions are made of pure light. Our physical body is essentially a filter designed to narrow down reality so we can function here in this dimension. Out of body, those filters are expanded. Your perception expands. You see more, you hear more. You access dimensions of reality completely invisible to physical senses. You might have tried meditation, breathwork, psychedelics. I've tried all of it. Psychedelics are powerful, but really overwhelming and unpredictable. They can last for hours, whether you're ready for it or not, with no control and no exit. Astral projection is nothing like that. You see real places, real people, you're in control the whole time, and it only happens when you're ready. Meditation is a slow path. Most people spend years meditating and only getting a glimpse of what lays beyond the thinking mind. Astral projection takes you deeper than any of these, from the comfort of your home and on your own terms. It's the most powerful spiritual practice that you can do. If you want to get started, then click below and book your free guidance session. So here is how astral projection actually works. Your brain is a receiver of consciousness, and it runs at different brain waves. Right now you're in the beta frequency, which is like your normal waking state. To project your consciousness beyond the body, you need to shift yourself into the theta brainwave state. That's the borderline between awake and asleep. that everyone passes through every single night when they go to sleep. And from there, you can step out. Something that surprises most people is that you've been doing this your whole life. Every night when you go to sleep, your consciousness enters these deeper brainwave states and leaves your body. Those dreams that felt completely real, so vivid you weren't sure if you're awake, those were unconscious astral projections. When you leave the body with conscious awareness, you can control your experience and remember everything. Now, this is not lucid dreaming. In a lucid dream, you're inside your own imagination. You're both the creator and the explorer. In an astral projection, you are in a real environment. The people and places are actually there. You are only the explorer. Joe Dispenza talks about this in his books. The quantum field, the unified field of consciousness where all information, past, present, and future already exist. Leonardo da Vinci worked this way. Nikola Tesla too. They came back with things that seemed impossible for their time because they were accessing knowledge beyond this dimension. I call it the universal internet, and we have direct access to it through astral projection. And one of the most powerful things that you can access through it is your own higher self, the part of you that exists beyond this dimension and has the full picture of your life, your path, and your purpose. The part of you that already knows who you are. And remember the guides we were talking about before. With out-of-body experiences, you go where they are, you see them, you talk to them face to face, and have a clear communication. Almost nobody knows that this is possible. And you might wonder why. If this is real, then why haven't we heard about it? Well, in the 1970s, the CIA launched a classified program called Project Stargate. They were training their own intelligence agents to leave their bodies and spy on the Soviet military sites. The Soviets were running the exact same program to spy on the US. It was a multi-million-dollar governmental operation. They knew this was real. They used it because it worked. The documents are now actually declassified and available on the government's website. On one of the pages, it states that human consciousness is able to separate from physical reality and interact with other intelligences in other dimensions within the universe. That's the CIA's own words. Think about what that means if the average person could do this. Leave their body, go anywhere and access information directly without needing the approval of the authorities. You can't control people like that. So they suppress this deliberately and systematically for centuries. Religion was one of their most effective weapons. They demonized it, saying it was sinful and demonic, because they knew a population that can access truth directly cannot be controlled. And it worked. For centuries, people were terrified, controlled, and some were even burned at the stake for sharing this information. But eventually, the truth always comes to the surface. And the fact that you're here right now means that it found you. If something in you knows this to be true, and you're ready to have your own direct experience, then click below and book your free guidance session. I know this truth because I found it myself, the hard way. My name is Florentine, and when I was in my 20s, I was traveling around the world working on Hollywood special effects on movies like Superman, Iron Man, and many more. And then something happened which I'll never forget. My grandfather died of lung cancer. His final words to me were,
"Florentine, you need to stop traveling around so much and spend more time with your family."
Later that summer, a spiritual friend of mine invited me to see some mediums in San Francisco. I didn't believe in any of that stuff, but I went just to make her happy. I sat down with a group of mediums, and to my surprise, they didn't ask me anything. They just closed their eyes and started telling me things about my past lives and how they relate to this one. I was skeptical the whole time. The session was nearly over when one of the mediums said,
"Wait, I'm sensing a spirit that wants to connect with us. It's your grandfather who passed away this summer. He wants to tell you to stop traveling around so much and spend more time with your family."
Those were the exact words that he told me before he died that summer in Sweden. Yeah, I still get goosebumps when I think about that experience. There's no way that this woman on the other side of the world in San Francisco could have known that, because I hadn't told anyone. This means that my grandfather still exists somewhere, and communication between that place and here is possible. I was faced with an experience that even my skeptical mind had to admit, there is more to life than what we can perceive with our senses. So I started searching for answers. I tried spiritual retreats, psychedelics, I worked with many teachers. Astral projection was what finally gave me the answers I was looking for. So I went all in, years of practice, hundreds of attempts, and ran into every obstacle you can imagine, falling asleep, staying awake for hours with nothing happening. And I discovered that every other program in this space have been built by people who had this ability from childhood. It came so naturally to them that their whole approach is basically just relax and you'll just float out of body. That doesn't work for most people. So I had to figure out this the hard way. I went back to the drawing board and reverse engineered the entire process. And using my technological background from Hollywood, I created my own soundtracks and designed a process I now call the projection blueprint, a personal map of what activates astral projection for you. Because everybody's different. I shared it with a few friends. They had experiences almost straight away, and that's when I knew I had to share this with the world. And because I had to personally go through every difficulty you can possibly face with this practice and found solutions to each one, what I've built works fast. Many of our students have their first experience within the first 30 days, some of them even on their first attempt. And after working with hundreds of students and receiving over 65 five-star reviews on Trustpilot, we are now the leading astral projection program in the world. Yeah, I know it might sound a bit bold, but it's actually true. One of my students, Ashwin, came to this program in a place most people wouldn't admit to be in. Smoking cannabis 20 times a day, erectile dysfunction, tones gone numb, and carrying questions that's been following with him his whole life. Why am I here? He showed up skeptical, but did the work. One night, he set an intention before the practice. He said, "Show me what's happening inside of my body." He then projected and found himself inside of his own arteries, in his lungs. He could see this black goo stuff that was clogging up his artery, and at the same time heard a message saying,
"This is what the cannabis is doing to your body."
He came back from that experience in shock and quit smoking that same day and never went back. Because it's one thing to hear people say smoking is bad, and another to see it for yourself. Everything healed, and then he went deeper. In another projection, he met a spirit guide, and he asked her the question that he'd been carrying his whole life. What is the purpose of life? She answered him in a way that made everything make sense. He came back with such clarity that he started teaching others what he had learned. He told me,
I didn't know the answer to what's the purpose of my life.
Mhm.
And now, because of astral projection, I have a very clear answer to this.
And that's far from a one-time occurrence. Having success is very common in our program. One of our students experienced a complete healing of her kidneys. Others connected with their spirit guides or departed loved ones. And almost all of our students describe astral projection as the single most transformative experience of their lives. Some of you watching this have fears about it. That's completely normal. I had them too. But honestly, having out-of-body experiences is completely safe and natural. We do it every night when we're sleeping, unconsciously. But Florentine, what if someone takes over my body while I'm away? No, that's not possible. Your body is only accessible to you. But what if I meet some negative entities? Negative entities are only something you would encounter in the lower astral planes, where lower vibrational beings exist. This is a place most people don't go to unless they are very fearful and negative themselves. But even if you were to meet a negative entity, they can't hurt you. You are traveling with your consciousness. Nothing can hurt you, and you have superpowers. You can fly, you can teleport, and if you were to find yourself in a place that you didn't want to be, you can simply just think of your body and you're back instantly, safe and sound, in your pajamas. That's why I say being out of body is safer than being in the body. It takes a lot more courage for us to incarnate here in this physical world where potential danger is substantially higher, which tells you something about who you are. You're not a physical being having a spiritual experience. You're a spiritual being, temporarily, courageously having a physical one. Yep. You might already believe that consciousness continues after physical death, but believing and knowing through your own direct experience are completely different things. When you believe something, there's always room for doubts. You've probably heard of people having near-death experiences and come back completely transformed, no longer afraid of death, filled with purpose, knowing with absolute certainty that consciousness continues beyond the body. One experience and their entire relationship to life changed forever. Astral projection produces the exact same shift without the near-death part. When you experience your essence beyond the body and know for sure that you are an immortal spiritual being, the fear of death dissolves, because you no longer identify yourself with your mortal body. And when the fear of death goes away, you let go of many other fears too, and start living from a different place completely. And when you find out why you're here, your life starts to make sense. You experience living a meaningful life, full of purpose, and with every experience, you grow, you expand, you become more of what you actually are. And the more you do this, the more connected you feel. and the answers come to you. Clarity on decisions you've been stuck on, ideas that seem to come from nowhere. And this is not a one-time event. Every time you go out of body, you come back more expanded than before, more connected to who you really are, and more aligned with your true path. People spend decades in meditation and spiritual retreat trying to reach the level of clarity and self-knowledge that you can get with just a handful of conscious out-of-body experiences. This is the most direct path to spiritual evolution available to a human being. Nothing else comes close. When you leave your body and come back, something shifts permanently in you, at a level that goes deeper than any religion or spiritual concept. A person who genuinely knows that they are a soul on a mission, who knows they can't die, who knows why they're here, that person is truly awake to their existence and completely free to live their most authentic life. When enough people wake up to the truth of who they really are and the interconnectedness between us, that knowing spreads through the field to others. And as a result, we raise the collective consciousness of the planet. That's how more connection, love, and compassion enters this world, which is exactly what we need right now. And it starts with one person at a time. Since you felt called to watch this, that's not a coincidence. The people who feel drawn to this are the ones who came here on a mission. Souls who choose to be here at the exact same moment in history because the shift needs them. If you've ever felt like the answers were close, but just out of reach, you're right. You hadn't gone out of body yet. You're supposed to wake up to the truth about your existence, and astral projection is exactly how you do that. How you tap into what you actually are, step into your power, and live the mission you came here for. That's how real spiritual evolution actually happens. But time is ticking. You came here on a mission and a limited time to complete it. The sooner you can find out what it is, the more time you actually have to live it. Your guides know what that mission is. They've been waiting to tell you. Most people never find out what it is, or they find out too late. If you feel this is the right time, if something in you says yes, then book a free guidance session. The link is below. This program isn't for everybody. We only work with people who generally feel called to do this, who are ready to put in the work. The call is a spiritual diagnostic session where we find out where you're at right now, what's being in your way, and where you want to go. From there, we put together a personalized path specifically for you. It's completely free, but spots are limited, and not everybody who applies will get one. Every person who had a real breakthrough in this program started right here, where you are right now. This is the moment it all begins. You came into this world not knowing who you are, why you're here, or where you come from. And you carried that question your whole life, felt that something was there just out of reach. You were right. And now you have two choices. You can close this video and go back to the search, back to the routine, back to the feeling of confusion and never actually finding out or tapping into your higher self. Or you can choose to connect deeper with yourself and find out directly by booking a free guidance session. Yeah, the choice is really yours, whether if you want to stay where you are right now or if you want to reach the next level. Like Morpheus said in The Matrix.
I'm trying to free your mind, but I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it.
If you feel excitement in your body right now, don't ignore it. That's the part of you that already knows the right choice. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm looking forward to see you on the call.
From the first day that I did like the protocol, I actually had a controlled out-of-body experience. And for the first time, I was able to leave my body consciously and really like pull out of that vibrational state and go around. And it was just like incredible.
And I look down and I see myself under my blanket and I was like, wow, like there I am.
It was the first time that when I practiced at home, I got out of body.
It's step by step on how. And the first time I tried that, I went out of body like that.
And then I ended up looking at my hands and trying to think of all the things I needed to do to keep it going. And I even stuck my finger through my palm and it went right through. You know, it's like, oh, this is so cool.
I didn't know the answer to what's the purpose of my life. And now, because of astral projection, I have a very clear answer to this.
Which I believe was an astral projection experience, my first one with you, where I had met my uncle. And when I met him, he was in full color. It was beautiful. The colors were like beautiful. Like nothing you see here on Earth was like, you can't explain it. It was just brilliant, bright, and different colors.
The program ended there. I was feeling good because I just wanted to see him. So being able to hold him, hug him, tell me he loved me, us write our, just us in the air and just go over some of the things that we used to do when we were here.
I was completely aware. I saw the living room. I saw
the couch. I saw the whole living room. I knew exactly what I was feeling. I was thinking as it was happening.
In the beginning, my goal was astral projection, but now so many little things happened to me along the way. Like tiny abilities started developing because I took on this process that now like I have a choice. If today I want to astral project, or today I just want to hang around in a bush and listen to like foreign conversations or enjoy the visions that I'm getting, everything. It's awesome.
I've had probably 20 plus lucid dreams and around 10 or 12 projections since it, and that's a lot more than I could ever ask for from a program.
The program is going on for 12 weeks, and you have customized sessions, one-to-one sessions, and that I feel really helps people to get our body.
When you're in a class, you see that there are other students learning the same thing that you're learning, and they're having success with it. So that definitely puts into your mind and into your subconscious that this can happen for you as well. If you do the same thing they're doing and they're having success, then you probably will too. And both coaches are extraordinarily talented at astral projection and also teaching it. So any questions you have, even if you show up for your coaching session and you don't have a question and you just share your experience, which could be absolutely nothing. Hey dudes, I followed the process and it's not working. They will get you on the right track and they will tell you exactly what you have to do differently in order for this to come to fruition for you. They're so experienced. I think they've seen probably every situation, every scenario, and they can get, I would say, anybody out of body.